tingles to my spine. You help me feel.
Hello, welcome back to ASMR The True Spirit. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Hello, ASMR The True family. Good morning to you. Good afternoon. Good evening. Whatever time it is for you. Hello. I'm overly dehydrated today. I hope that you're doing good today, that you're doing well, and that everything's alright or working towards being okay. Yesterday for me was a little stressful, just a little, but I made it through the day. It was difficult at first. Sometimes I react different to things than most people. Sometimes stuff happen, like I gave an example. Something might have happened a long time ago and you never really paid it any attention. You never really gave it no energy, no heat, no thought. And then all of a sudden, someone brings something to your attention. And you realize it's very intense. It's something you should really pay attention to. But then I don't react the way, I don't get excited. I don't, I'm talking about to something that might be negative. I don't get rah excited. I kind of and I just put it in like a baggie, like when something is not right and you don't want it to get mixed up in anything else, you put it in a baggie, then you put it in another bag, and then you put it away or throw it, you throw it away. You know what, you get my drift, you know what I'm talking about. But that's what I do. I kind of put that negativity in like it's baggy, and I kind of separate myself from the attachment and the knowledge that I just observed or took in, or it was brought to my attention. I'm going to use this Lancome primer today. I haven't been using primer because it's been fairly cold. I literally just felt like I was freezing to my bones yesterday and the other day. Today I feel better. I was able to put on a nice little blouse, a cool little t-shirt blouse, So I'm definitely just gonna put on primer because when the weather feels kind of nice, most likely my makeup is probably gonna melt off my face by the end of the day. Probably. But my makeup has been doing a lot better than usual. Like it's It's been holding up. It's been doing its part. It's been sticking with me. It hasn't really let me down. I literally have to wash my face really, really good. Lately, I've been washing my face 2-3 times, just trying to make sure I get all the makeup out of my pores. So, like, once I realized that, okay, this is definitely something I need to be dealing with, but how do I go about it? And sometimes, people take it as if, I don't take it as serious, or I'm not all in. And sometimes people do stuff. People do stuff. You don't think people would do mean and evil type stuff, but they do. So now I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with stuff that people have been doing, trying to attach themselves to me in some type of way, or trying to bring some type of negativity towards me in some type of way. So now I'm reevaluating things. I'm going back and I'm thinking about stuff that has taken place, that has happened. And stuff I didn't give no thought to. I'm still not there where I'm going to attach myself. Like, I recognize negativity right away. I really do. So, and not just negativity, I recognize when something's not right. That's not positive at all. And if I don't recognize it, trust me, my spirit comes to me and it talks to me. It tells me exactly what's up. And see, there's not a lot of people who's like, I'm gonna use the word spiritual strong. That's all I can think of right now. If I come up with another word, I'll tell you. And sometimes they let stuff get to them right away, or they end up attaching themselves to something because they trying to understand. They trying to figure out, why was this done? Why did this happen? Who did this? Why would they do this? And that's feeding it like energy, like literally. Which, don't get me wrong. Knowledge is power. I always say that. That's very, very important. But you're also not responsible for something you don't know. Like, you had no clue. You didn't understand. It didn't even cross your mind. And sometimes myself is literally a lot of times I'm literally in that position. Like, majority, okay, all the time, let me just be honest. I start out with things with good intention, with something that don't have nothing to do with nothing. They not even connected, but all of a sudden I'll say, what the freak is that? What the freak? And then that's when I'll start putting it in this package. And I immediately know that, okay, detach, don't connect. It's all good, because even though people may have bad intentions towards you, you have to activate it, if that makes any sense. And if you don't activate it and you don't know and you ain't had no clue, it's not going to work. Whatever their intentions were, it's not going to work. So I don't freak out when, it's crazy, because I'll freak out when I'm literally so excited for another person, so happy for another person, or, something good has really happened. I'll freak out. But when it comes to negativity, when it comes to evil or danger or messiness, I don't freak out. I don't have time to freak out. The first thing I pull out is my spiritual sword. I ain't got time to freak out. Y'all like that? Spirit worked on her eyebrows this morning with not effortlessly. Is it effortlessly or effortlessly? Anyway, you get my drift. Okay. I didn't scratch this morning, and I feel like, my body is just now trying to wake up on me. And it felt kind of like tickly. Yeah. I'm going to use some of this Lancome concealer. Yesterday I poured so much out by mistake. I was like, okay, Spirit, you got to be a little bit more gentle with your makeup. But I am going makeup shopping real soon. I don't have a lot of dollars, but I got a couple of dollars. I'm going to pick up a couple of things. And it might not be from where I really want to go get it from, but it'll still work, if not better. I discovered one day, like, this don't got nothing to do with nothing what I was talking about. Let me wait till that truck go by. One night I was tired, but I didn't eat dinner. And I told Nadine to go and grab this Raisin Bran type cereal off the top of the refrigerator. And I'm not one to buy unnamed brand stuff. And what I mean is, because I don't want to offend a company that does have a name for their brand, but it's not known to me. So when I say name brand, I'm thinking about like Kellogg's, Nestle, what's another name brand, y'all? Honey Nut Cheerios, stuff that Captain Crunch, stuff that when you see it, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the name, you know the name brands. Like, it's a whole bunch of different name brands, but I only can think of some, but so many right now, because I'm literally not all the way woke. But I went to this store, and it didn't have any of the names that I normally see in, popular grocery stores that I no cereal or anything that I barely would buy anything that's a name brand. Even when it comes to almond milk, I like specifically a certain type of brand of milk, and I'm too afraid to try other stuff because I don't like. Because in the beginning, I literally was disgusted by almond milk, like coconut milk. I just didn't like it, but I had to transition from milk to almond milk. Now I can literally drink milk if I want to, you know. But something had happened, and I haven't talked about this, and maybe one day I'll talk about it. But it's not really a big deal, and I don't really like to talk about it because then my feet start to ache. But at one point in my life, and I'm jumping off subject from what I was talking about, but don't lose that thought about the cereal, okay? Because I'm coming back. One point in my life, I had a florist. I had several of them, and I would leave from one florist to the next florist, and I would be on my feet all day long. I'd be on my feet, and my feet be aching so bad that when I pressed the pain out, the pain felt good. That's how much my feet was aching. And underneath my feet, it got to the point where now I realized, okay, I couldn't stand up on my toes, and the bottom of my feet was killing me. So I went to the hospital one day and got my feet checked out, and I had to have this is crazy. I had to have specific medications. I had to have a small little surgery on my feet, and you was not gonna believe this. It was so simple, but it was crazy. I had extra calcium. That, and maybe I'm getting it wrong, but I'm trying to remember how it was. It was a long time ago. How many years ago? Let me think. Maybe about 10 years ago. Yeah, about 10. I had calcium on my bone, and basically I had to go in where they had to scrape it off of my bone, and then I had to take specific medications and different things to not have calcium, too much calcium in my body, and it grew on my bone. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that, but that's what happened. And I said, what the freak? Why? That doesn't even make sense. And I don't know if it was like, you know, anyway, I can't remember all the details. I would have to look at my medical paperwork. But I remember that happened to me. And at the time, I had a business partner that stuck by my side at the time that I was going through this, helped me get through this, so I stayed home a couple of days. But from there, I never drunk like milk. I went from milk to almond milk, okay, stuff like that. But I was told like to take vitamin D and stuff like that. But I had calcium deposits. That is crazy. I swear, I think that's what it's called. I can't remember right now. And now I'm looking at my camera. My freaking camera battery is dying on me. I transitioned to almond milk at one point in my life when I gave up meat. Like I didn't give up meat because I just a vegetarian. I gave up meat for, reasons. I was following the doctor's orders and health reasons. I need to give up a lot of stuff, but meat was one of my first things that I literally had to start giving up, and then when I found out that I drank a lot of milk, I really did. I love milk. That was one of my favorite things. Milk and cereal, milk and cookies, milk and toast. You know what I'm saying? I love milk. And when I found that out, I could no longer mess with the milk, so I went from milk to almond milk, so I had a hard time. I tried all kind of soy milk. Oh my God. Anyway, I didn't like it. I finally find an almond milk that I like, and I had to, over time, slowly, like it didn't happen overnight. It literally, I was buying the almond milk, and then I would throw it out after a couple of weeks or whatever out of the refrigerator. Then I would buy it again and use a little bit, throw the rest out, and then I started pouring just a little bit in my cereal. I'm gonna tell you how it got. I started trying to be slick because I really didn't want to give up the milk. I would pour half milk, ice, and then almond milk. Half and half, trying to make the transition. I finally mixed the transition, and I found the milk that I like. And I'm gonna tell you which one it is. It's the Almond Breeze. I freaking love the Almond Breeze, so I started really getting used to it, and it tastes fresh. It's light. It's good. I love it. You know, it's one of my milk, one of my choice of milk now, which is the almond milk by Almond Breeze. So when I went to the store the other day, I picked up. We back at the cereal. I picked up this cereal, and it was a name brand, and I was not going to get it. But I made a conscious decision that, okay, today is not the day that I can really do a lot of running around. You're not feeling good spirit, you know. And I knew I wasn't feeling good. I knew I wasn't feeling good at all. And I was just like, okay, today you're going to have to pick up this stuff, and you're just going to have to give it a try. So I picked up the, I'm using the LA Girl pomade for my eyebrows this morning, and my gold brow pencil. I put the milk in the refrigerator and put the cereal on top of the refrigerator. I ain't think about it no more. And one night, I was tired. I kind of overworked myself. So I told Nadine to fix me a bowl of that Raisin Bran. And I heard her say, Mom, what kind of cereal is this? I said, well, I just picked it up. It looked like the same cereal, but it's just in a different box or whatever. And she said, oh, I don't think it's going to be the same cereal, Mom. I said, okay, well, put me a little bit of cereal in a bowl, put me a little bit of ice and some almond milk. And then she's like, oh my God, why we got a new almond milk from a new company? And I had bought it. It said directly from the farm or some stuff like that. So I told my daughter, I said, well, all you can do is try it. If it's not good, I won't buy it again, you know. And my daughter fixed me a bowl. She brought it to me, and I sat up and I ate it. Child, I told my daughter to bring me the box. I want to read the box, and I want another bowl of cereal. So when I went to go fill the box, half the box was gone, half the milk was gone. My son had already got to it. And then my son didn't complain about it. It was definitely good. So, and it wasn't name brand like the name you normally see. So I end up saving a few dollars. Literally. God. Anyway, I saved me a few dollars. And my cereal was delicious. As a matter of fact, I actually like it more than I like the name brand. I was so surprised. So, just because something is not like well known or popular or trending on a commercial doesn't mean that you shouldn't give it a try. As I definitely did the other day, and I was not disappointed. I was very happy. So yeah, the next time I go to the grocery store, I'm definitely going to give a couple of other cereals inside of the Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow palette. I need to make me some coffee. It's so early. I didn't even go to the kitchen this morning. I went after I left the bathroom. I grabbed me a blouse and just sat down, started talking a video this morning. So I'm gonna go see if it's up now, so I can turn off my computer for a minute, because I feel like my mic pick up the vibrations from everything. This is a pretty color. It's a nice color, even though I'm just using it basically as a base. I don't know why I'm going so deep with it, because I don't have to. It's just really pretty. I don't know how to stop with some stuff. I feel like I saw a piece of hair, but maybe I didn't. Last night I intended to go to bed and really go to sleep right away, but I did not end up watching this freaked up movie. So I say my video was successful, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna shut down the computer and I'll put my tags in later. Now I'm just gonna take like a blending eyeshadow brush, and I used this color yesterday. I'm gonna use it like full blown today. I used it yesterday just as like to darken up an eyeshadow, but today I'm actually gonna use it as the main eyeshadow. This is a really pretty color. It's very intense, like it's seriously intense. So yesterday I had to drink a whole lot of water. I had a good dinner. Dinner was so delicious. Oh my God! And I think it was just it was actually really good. Like the seasoning and the mushrooms was so delicious. Oh my God! It made the whole rice taste good. I had fried rice and fried tilapia. My son bought it for me. He also bought me a seafood boil. Me and Nadine both. You told Mom. Delicious. Child, I'm about dead. Dang, I should have grabbed me some hot sauce. Think mushrooms are good. I didn't get to eat the seafood boil because I just really wanted to specifically enjoy the rice and the tilapia, but I'm going to eat my seafood this morning, probably for breakfast, because if I don't eat it, then my daughter probably going to end up picking off of it, and I'm be like, okay, Nadine, you can have it. But last night, I was watching a movie. She said, Mom, what you watch? I said, I don't know, I'm watching some movie. I don't even know the name of it. I just kind of like got into it. It started out with, it was a quick movie. This movie went kind of quick for me. It wasn't slow at all. It was like a fast movie. I don't know if it was fast. Maybe I fell asleep and woke up, but it was a quick, happening movie. It started out with this guy. He had a wife and he had a daughter. And I think they were like supposed to be going to Thanksgiving dinner to a family member house. And they was like basically on a road trip. And the little girl was like somewhere around 4 or 5 years old. And they showed the wife talking to the husband, basically telling him that she wasn't happy. She wasn't happy in the marriage anymore. And that, she had complaints about whatever. She was upset because she felt like they weren't going to get to their Thanksgiving dinner on time because he was doing literally 55 miles an hour. and all the other cars was going past him and speeding up and everything. And she was like, why you never drive faster? You just insistently driving the speed limit. Next thing you know, they were saying something about, I think the daughter had like this toy in the back seat of the car that's just playing with. It's like a little doggy that move his head and legs and stuff. Be a little doggy, a little toy. So she told her dad the toy wasn't working, so he said he'll stop at a gas station and get the little girl some batteries. And when they got out the car, the dad was doing one thing, the mother was doing another thing, but the little girl was standing at the edge of like some type of construction site, and it was this big dog, looked like he's about to jump at her and bite her. So the dad told her, don't move, and she was like, Daddy, like basically help her. So the dad picked up a rock and he threw it at this dog, and when he went to go throw it at the dog leaped at the little girl, and him and the little girl went over this construction site. Now while he was laying there, the wife came running screaming towards her child, like, you know how that went. It was very dramatic. She was very like hurt, like, you know, screaming, and he was just laying on the ground. And when he came through, he heard somebody say, they both gone, they both gone. They both gone. That's all he heard. And when they was like saying they both gone, I thought they was talking about him and the daughter. The wife was screaming on the ground and saying, like, basically, our little girl, do something. So he got up and he grabbed the little girl and they got in the car. Instead of calling the ambulance or the cops, they grabbed the little girl, and the little girl woke up and she was like, my arm hurt. And the one mother was like, I think her arm is broke. So they basically put her in the car and they went towards the hospital. This man was doing at least 110 miles per hour, almost getting into accidents and everything, trying to get this little girl to the hospital. So once they got to the hospital, the mother grabbed the little girl and she carried the little girl in, and he went running in trying to like get help. But when he got up there, the lady told him that she had to get in line with everybody else, and basically he got to sign in to see the doctor. And he kept telling her, but my daughter's arm is broke, she need a doctor now. And it's like, no, you gotta wait. So then the mother went to go sit down with the little girl, and the father just kept pacing, waiting on the doctor. Then finally the doctor called them to the back. The doctor started to examine the little girl, and he treated her for a broken arm. And they was like really glad that they had been there for a long time. And the doctor finally said, well, let me take one more check. And he checked the little girl's eyes, and he was looking at her eyes, and I thought he saw something terrible. But he told the parents, he told them that they needed an extra exam on the little girl's eyes. And the father was like, well, her eyes look like they okay. And he was saying, well, this is for precaution. So the mother was like, well, if you think her eyes need to be checked, then go ahead and check it. So he was like, well, we gotta go and something, I think, to the lab or something like that, or some type of x-ray, something like that. and they told the father that they only had room for the patient and one parent or one visitor or something like that, that he would have to wait in the waiting room. He told them that they was, but they'll be back. So they gets on the elevator, and the father see that it go past the basement to this LL like lobby or whatever, or lobby or main floor. It was like at the bottom, something like that, not the main floor, past the basement. So the father go back and he wait in the waiting room, and he must have fell asleep. He opened his eyes and he noticed like different people in there from when he was first waiting. So he goes up to the information desk, and it was a new girl working, and he said, "Can you tell me how long it's gonna be for my wife and daughter to come back from my daughter getting an exam?" And she asked him, what was the daughter name? She looked it up. First she told him that it shouldn't be long. So he went and sat back down. So then it seemed like it took a long time, like another hour passed. So he gets up and he says to her, "Can you check on my wife and daughter?" So she asked him again, "What was your daughter and wife name?" And he kept saying, last name, Monroe, Monroe. He kept saying that. He said, "I told you that before." She said, "Well, sir, I got a lot of patients. A lot of people come and ask for information. And I have to ask you again to be sure." So the second time she checked the name, and she was like, "I see a Monroe, but it's Ray." And he said, "Yeah, that's me." She said, "Well, I don't see your wife or your daughter's name. Are you sure that they came here with you?" And he was like, "Yeah." He told them about the doctor that they saw. So he said, "Well, I want to see the doctor that I saw earlier." And she said he had already left for the day, and he passed his orders on to another doctor. So then he said, "Well, could you look for my daughter's name and my wife's name again? I'm telling you they were here." So she looked for it again, and she told him that it's definitely not here. Your daughter and your wife is not here. They're definitely not here. So then he slapped his hand on the desk. He got so frustrated. It was like you just can't imagine walking into a building. You know you was with a person, and then now they're saying that they're not there. He snuck through the doors to run in the area that he had left his wife and daughter. And when he got back there, he didn't see no signs of them. The security guard started tracing him. So he started basically asking for help, telling people that his daughter and wife is missing. They came into the hospital, and now they're saying that they're not there. So then they started questioning him, asking him, is he sure? He went through the motions. It got to the point where he found the doctor, but he basically, he didn't attack the doctor. He just basically saying, "Where's my wife and daughter? Where's my wife and daughter?" And the security guard ended up spraying him in the eyes and locking him in this room. They locked him in this room. He broke the glass. He wrapped his hands up with something. He broke the glass and he got out. But they also had gave him a sedative or something to try to make him sleep. And they told him that until he calmed down that he wasn't leaving. So they was basically gonna let him sleep and I guess put him in jail or something till he calmed down. And he found some medicine inside the room that they locked him in, and he shot himself with it, and it woke him up. It was crazy. And he basically was sleeping and woke at the same time. And he broke the glass and he got out of the room, and he went looking for his wife and daughter. He wasn't successful in the hospital. He ended up leaving the hospital, getting in his car, and just trying to think what could have happened to his wife and daughter. And then at some point in the movie, he saw like a policewoman, a policeman pull up, and he started telling them that the hospital basically kidnapping his wife and daughter. They was there. Now they trying to say that that he's not there. He needs some help. That they not there, and that he needs some help. So the cops went inside the hospital with him, and they basically seemed like they was on his side. They was really like trying to find common ground to what he was saying. But everybody agreed. Everybody in the hospital was telling the cops his wife and daughter never came into the hospital with him. He came into the hospital by himself with a head injury, and he kept on mentioning Abby. So they asked him, who is Abby? He said, Abby is my ex-wife. They said, well, why? You told us you was looking for her earlier. What happened to her? He said, Abby died a few years ago. They said, how'd she die? She died in a car accident. And he said, she's my first wife. She's dead. I'm not looking for her. I'm looking for my wife and my daughter. And they was like, well, you only came here for a head injury. We treated you for a head injury. And somebody must have treated him because he did have a Band-Aid at the top of his head, but he couldn't figure out how he got the Band-Aid. He kept telling the cops they lying. They all covering it up. They're all lying. He told the cops that he saw his daughter and wife go down to the basement of the hospital, past the basement, to get like a CT, like a CAT scan, something like that. And he said, the doctor said, no, our CAT scan is on the 3rd floor. He said, no, it's downstairs in the basement. I saw it. He said, no, you're mistaken. So the cops went up to the 3rd floor. They found nothing. And then told him, well, we're going to figure this out. Just wait here. So then they came back with a black woman, and the black woman was the psychiatrist. He asked her, he said, what are you, a shrink? She said, yeah, I'm going to try to help you figure out what happened to your wife and daughter. Then he started telling her, I'm not crazy. And she said, I don't believe that you're crazy. I just believe that, something happened. We need to figure it out. So the psychiatrist lady asked him to tell her what happened before the hospital. And he was telling her that they stopped at the gas station to get batteries for his daughter's toy. So as they were leaving the hospital, going back downstairs to head towards the gas station, where he said that they stopped at, and it was late. Like hours later, he get downstairs and they passed the, I guess the part where all the beds be at, and he saw a piece of his daughter's scarf hanging from underneath the bed, and he went and got it. He started kneeling down crying, and he was telling them, I'm not crazy. I'm telling you, my daughter and wife was here. This is her scarf. And it was just a sad scene, and they ended up going back to the place. They ended up at the gas station. And while they was at the gas station, they had like all kind of like I think it was like 6 or 7 people out there trying to figure out what happened to his wife and daughter. So he started remembering that, telling them the story, the same story he had been telling them of what happened to his wife and daughter. He just wanted them to believe him. But he remembered that when he was in the hospital, he saw the ambulance had boxes that said human organ donor. It said human organs. So he was trying to explain to them that he know that the hospital has his family and they're lying. And they basically, he was just like losing it because he just wanted someone to believe him. It started sounding like maybe he did something to his family. That's what it started sounding like. The psychiatrist lady started telling him that maybe he did something to his family and, he just don't remember exactly what happened. And they basically started looking like they was going to blame him for his family disappearing. So when one of the guards was like not paying attention, he grabbed a gun and he took the people and he locked them up in this shed at the gas station and put something in front of it so they couldn't get out. And he started heading back towards the hospital. So then this time he started becoming strategic. He was able to get back in the hospital and get a jacket and a coat. And he got the key card from the psychiatrist. He took it. He was able to move around the hospital to try to find his family. And he saw this elevator. The elevator when he first saw his family leave. He jumped on the elevator and he tried to go down the stairs, but then he realized to get to that bottom floor you needed a key. He basically left the elevator and then I guess he went trying to look for a key, but then he saw the guard that had locked him in the room go in his elevator. So he jumped on the elevator with the guard and they fought to the death. He ended up choking out the guard, took his key and got down to the basement floor of the hospital. Well, the bottom basement floor, the LL, whatever that is. And once he got down there, he started kind of like tippy-toeing, not trying to be caught by nobody, looking for his family. And he went into this room. And in this room, they had people laid out. And when he pulled the blanket back, or the covering back, all their body parts was gone, including the eyeballs. Everything was just pulled out of them, gone. Child, he started freaking out. He really started looking for his family. And then he went to this other room. And in this room, he was going past, he heard this noise. Or the little, something was moving like in a basket, I would say like a clothing basket, a hamper. And I was saying to myself, child, don't touch it, you don't know what that is. It was moving, I didn't know what it was, but it was the doggy. And he pulled it out, so he realized, oh yeah, my family's definitely down here. And then he saw two people walking away with like machines and boxes, and it said human organs. So then he gets to this one room. He sees his daughter laid across the table like they can make do surgery on her. I thought she was gone. I thought she was like dead or something. But, when he went over to her, told them to get away from her, he had the gun on them. She was still alive. So then, he was backing up and he realized his daughter, his wife was in the same room. So then he grabbed his wife, he put her in a wheelchair, put the daughter in her lap and told her to hold on to the baby. And the wife told him that they had tricked her. And he was telling her, don't worry, I got you now. I was saying, oh Lord, how the freak you gonna get out of here? But he started pulling a gun on them. He shot like this, he shot some type of bow. and like smoke or something came out, and he was telling them, he warned them, and they was like, look, you can't leave here, you can't leave here with them. They was begging him that he couldn't leave there with the body, with his wife, and they was begging him, telling him he couldn't leave there with his wife and daughter, and that they really needed him to calm down, and he ended up shooting one of the doctors. I know, it's crazy, right? I was saying to myself, oh my God, this is like really, really crazy. I'm still trying to learn how to do my makeup. I know it'd be looking crazy too, and like I don't know how it's gonna turn out, and I'll be missing steps and stuff like that. And that's because I don't know about the steps yet. I don't know. Like the more I learn, the more I'll add to me doing my makeup, and you just along for the ride because you enjoying the sound. So that make me feel good that you enjoy the sounds. Or you enjoy my voice, which is nice. I know some people don't enjoy my voice. They don't like me talking in my videos, but they know they're on the wrong channel. They know I talk a lot, and some of them days I don't talk. I specifically put it up for people who just want a nice, quiet video with no talking, but I mostly talk and chew on this channel. Today I'm not chewing because I'm actually hungry. I feel like the gum is going to make it worse for me today. Lately I've been chewing gum and I get extremely, extremely hungry. He ended up almost making it to the elevator and somebody grabbed him. So they got into a ruffle and he ended up shooting the valve again, and it blew up, and like 6 or 7 doctors got hurt. And he made his way out the hospital. I was trying to figure out why the fire alarm wasn't going on, going off or whatever, but he made it out the hospital. He put his wife and his daughter in his truck, and he left that hospital with his wife and daughter. I was literally so freaking relieved that he got his family back. So on the way home, his daughter was telling him that her arm still hurt, and he told her that it's gonna feel better. He said, to make you feel better, do you want me to sing to you? And she said, yes, Daddy. So he started singing to her on the way home. And, him and his wife was just talking a little bit. The wife was happy that the husband saved her, and it looked like they was going home and be a family and try to make their marriage work and stuff like that. Child, a few minutes in the video, on the way home, it started replaying everything that happened from the beginning. What happened was, him and his wife got into an argument, and he had a psychotic break, and in that psychotic break, he replaced his reality with an alternate reality, and instead of him throwing the rock at the dog, he threw the rock at his daughter. He hit her, and she fell over the construction thing, and it killed her. The mother came running, and he slapped her, and her head fell into this pipe, and it killed her. And they showed that when he went to the hospital, he actually only went by himself. His daughter and wife was never there. And the bodies that he took from the hospital were people, dead people, that he just took strangers. Dead people was in his car, and he was on his way home with them, talking to them as if they was the wife and daughter. He completely snapped, lost his mind. Then the freaking movie went off just like that. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was like, oh my God, no. Yep, he killed his family. Then they showed like when he saw a human organ, things in the box or parts and stuff like that. It was actually something else. It was containers. His mind literally switched everything completely around. Okay, I just applied my eyelashes and I am done with the eye makeup look. So now I'm going to add the settings powder by MAC. I'm going to put some of my brushes away before I take off my setting powder. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. The relaxing sounds, the whispering, the show. I can't, you know what? I know you're going to ask me, Spirit, what's the name of the movie? I don't know what it was called or nothing. I just kind of like, I think that it was already on or something. Like my daughter was playing it and then she fell asleep and I ended up watching it by myself. She didn't even want to watch it. I think it started being too psychotic for her, so she didn't even like really get into it or nothing like that. But the movie was very disturbing. It really disturbed me. It bothered me a lot. That was. I'm gonna put a little bit of this Stay MAC. Just kind of contour my nose a little bit, my cheekbones. And then I'm gonna throw my wig on. The next time I go makeup shop, I'm gonna get me an even darker concealer. I'm gonna get me a darker concealer, a lighter concealer. Okay, it sounds like the little birdies are awake. So the video is basically almost over. use NYX. It's called Butter. Smells so good. Smells like a cake. A butter cake. MAC bronzer. Not a lot, just a little today. Okay, I'm gonna try something a little different today. I'm gonna kind of brush it under, see if I can create a cute bang, and then I'm gonna twirl the sides and see if it will look cute. See what happens, just to kind of change it up a little bit. See if I can look a little more sexy, a little bit more edgy. But I don't know. I can't make no promises. You know how that go. But I love this freaking wig. I'm gonna wear it till I can't wear it no more, and then I'm gonna put it up and cut it, mess with it, and then I'm gonna put it on again in the future. But for right now, this is what I'm rocking. This is my cute little hairdo. It's cute, right? This is cute. It'll work. It'll definitely work. I think it will work. I don't know how long it's gonna last. Bang in front of the eyes, kind of sexy, but it could get on your nerve too. It could kind of irritate you. So we'll see what happens. But this is my finished look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Spirit Girl is out. I'll see you in the next video. Put a little bit more lip gloss on. Gonna put just a little bit more lip gloss on. This gonna be my picture, I think. Okay, that's gonna have